All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this one, we are interviewing one of our clients inside of High Level Systems. This is Ethan Ashley. And Ethan joined our program when he was doing about $6,000, $7,000 a month in his agency, and has been able to scale it to $50,000 months with a nearly 85% profit margin. And I want to share in this interview, the key things that he implemented, that he learned from us, and that he's implemented into his own business that allowed him to do so, and also help you understand his plan for scaling to over $250,000 a month. So now he's actually working one-to-one with myself, and we're going to be helping him take the leap to over 6 figures a month, and then he's going to know what he's got to do to take it further. So really excited for this interview. It's going to be a total pleasure having Ethan on the channel. Having watched him grow his business and seeing what he's been able to build has been a really interesting journey, and I relate a lot to Ethan being a more creative type of person that needed a lot more structure around his offer and his business, which is what I needed when I was getting started as well. So really looking forward to this interview with Ethan. He's doing extremely well, and that leap from 5,000 to 6,000 a month to 50,000 a month, is just priceless for somebody in his shoes. And it changes your life forever. It changes your business forever. And I think he now is aware of the sort of levels he could be playing at if he just chooses to do so. So it's a pretty incredible interview. Looking forward to it with Ethan. Be sure to watch the entire thing. And if this interests you at all in scheduling a call with the team, hearing exactly how we work or what High Level Systems entails or how we help you, that is definitely what you should do next. I take a majority of these calls. My team takes some of them as well. And you can either speak with a highly trained team member or myself directly, and we'll see if you're a good fit for High Level Systems, and we'll make you an offer if that's the case. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this whole video. And now on to the interview with Ethan. All right, Ethan, welcome to the channel, dude. Long time coming, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're a lot of fun. Obviously I kind of introed you a little bit a second ago on YouTube. But tell your story, man. I mean, you've had a pretty incredible journey. I've gotten to see a lot of the growth and help you make some key decisions. And I think it's been just really interesting how you've transitioned. I think you've adopted a very interesting hybrid model now that, we're thinking could scale pretty far, but just kind of your experience, look about your business, where you've come from, where you're in, and everything like that.
Cool. So I was graduating high school, and I'm a creative guy. So I think this is going to be a valuable interview for anyone who has that creative brain and they want to learn how to monetize it. So I was just leaving high school. I was a really good filmmaker, and I just kind of realized that if I was to go to university and learn film, I would be one of those starving filmmakers. So I wanted to see how I could monetize it. And that's where SMMA slapped me in the face. And over the course of 2 years, I was trying to sell leads, Facebook ads, Facebook leads to gyms, medical spas, dealerships. And I think over the course of 2 years, I made $10,000. 2 years. So I mean, divide that by 24 months, and you're just above the poverty line kind of thing, right? And so I ended up getting in this place where I was just working at an internship at a marketing agency, and they flat out were like, "You're not making any money. I know you're good at videos. Go email some realtors to see if you can get paid money for videos." And I thought, sure, let me try that. And so I emailed 100 realtors. I asked them if they wanted to do some videos, and by the end of that week, I had 6.7K in retainers locked in and locked down, which was absolutely crazy and insane. And that's kind of what got me started. That was the first day of my creative agency, Coconut Creative. Really, that was the birthplace of it.
Wow.
After 2 years of trying leads, it didn't work out. And then very easily and quickly, it's just boom, almost a 6-figure salary monthly retainers. It's it was crazy. It was eye-opening to me. And so, yeah, I mean, we just followed that kind of model of doing videos, random videos, just any kind of video that the realtor was wanting us to do, kind of being like their bitch. And we followed that process for 6 months before I met you. By the time I met you, like, it was kind of all over the place. We were doing some videos for realtors. We were also doing some videos for some dealerships, and there was no structure whatsoever. And I think we were at that financial mark of like averaging 5K months. That was it, 5K months. So it wasn't very much. And you basically just grabbed a hold of me, and you were like, you need to distill your offer down into like a one-time offer, like a one thing. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. that probably makes sense. So, you know, we cut out the dealerships. We focused 100% on realtors. We just still think that we're telling people like, you know, we will make you the local celebrity realtor in your area, combining videos and promotion. And we just honed in on that. And we've been doing that for the past 6 to 8 months. And now we just had our biggest month. We hit $50,000 in revenue coming in May, which was awesome. And that, you know, that translates into like 40,000 in profit. So yeah, it's been a ride to say the least.
That's cool, man. So, I mean, I feel like you made a huge jump, and I almost want to pick apart specifics between that like 6 figures a year level and like the 50,000 a month level that you guys have been able to jump to since getting our help. So, like, really, what are the core things? Like, if some, like, literally, like, honestly, if somebody did not want to work with us and just wanted the core of what we did for you, what would you give them? You know, like, what's really the boiled down version?
Okay, so if someone didn't want to work with you, and you want to give them a boiled down version of the key steps that you would need to take going from $50,000 a year to over 6 figures.
Yeah, just kind of boiling it down to its core ideas. Like, what's been the big changes?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, sure. So the biggest thing for us easily to get us to 6 figures was distilling our offer down to one offer, for sure. One, max 2 offers. And if that isn't made obvious enough to like people watching this, it's like you can't do, you know, website optimization and paid ads and content creation. Like, you can't do all that. Like that would be number one, the biggest thing to scale to 6 figures. And then the second thing would be, if you want to get to 6 figures, you have to put a mental focus on sales. Like, you have to hone in on your sales skills. Like, how can you, one, generate appointments, but how can you as the business owner level up your sales skills? Turn that closing rate up. That was huge for me. That was super, super big. Like, just generating a ton of appointments. You can't fail when you have so many appointments, you know, and you're selling those people on that one-time offer. You know, it's just a system that kind of flywheels and works.
So 2 main things. It's like, instead of doing everything for anyone, it's narrowing in one thing, maybe 2 things to do max that feed into each other, if anything, and then focusing on sales over anything else. Is there anything else there? Do those feel like the main things for you in your situation?
Yeah, for me in my situation, it's like I honestly I don't think you need to overcomplicate it, to be honest. Like, I strongly believe, like, you could, if you have a way to generate appointments, if you have a way to sell those appointments, and if you have a product that you're selling them on, which is freaking simple, like, I don't know, I don't see how you could fail with that, to be honest.
So what exactly is your product now? Because you were doing lead gen. I think people would be curious to know what you've built and what it looks like. And because I think a lot of people think the only way to go is just services, you know, like marketing services or whatever. So I'm curious, to explain in your own words, what you guys do for your clients now?
Yeah, I'll kind of briefly share what we do and then how this could apply to other creatives. What we do that is a $1 million product in my eyes. Like real estate agents will see this and see the potential. Is we will film videos that people will remember. They're engaging. They're fun. Like, videos like if you ever watched the Poopery ad, where there's like the British chick in the washrooms, the Poopery, like videos like that are fun with the realtor. We'll do that every single month on a monthly basis, and that's where the retainer comes from. And then we'll just use paid ads to promote those videos into a small demographic, into their target area, right? Like heavily promote that. And so that's what we do. And I think for most creatives, I think it's like the same thing, because it's not really enough to just say we'll take photos, because you can't really charge that much. But we're right now our highest retainer is $5,000 a month. But that being said, I've got people on like a wait list now, like ready to go for $10K a month retainers for that service, right? And so based on the advice you gave me, by the way, which was interview your current clients and ask them, we're selling this for $10K a month, like what would make it worth it? So yeah, that's what we do. I think if you can combine paid ads with really good creative, you've got a really good product and a service on your hands. Like I would think any creative could do that if they have some experience in both fields, and they can just hire a media buyer.
Well, and it's interesting, I find you saying this a lot. You're saying creative agencies or creative types of people. Like, really, what do you think creative types struggle with when it comes to actually building like a sustainable business? Like, what belief do you wish you could like give to somebody who is a creative like yourself that would then help them, build a business? Because back when I was a photographer, I know what I'd tell myself, but I'm curious kind of what your thoughts would be there, just to kind of go off topic a little bit, because I know that's a passion subject for you.
Yeah, it's super tough being a creative, man. It's like you have a creative brain and a business brain, and I think if someone's already watching this interview, though, they have both sides of that brain clearly. Like they want more, like on the one extreme side, you've got the person in film school who's throwing paint on a naked cow, and the cow is like exploding, and you're like art, and you're like and that's just like, I'm happy with doing that. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you've got a guy who's like just sitting on a pile of money and doesn't care how the end product looks. He's just like, as long as I'm making money, right? And so what you have to do as a creative is like, you have to work both sides of the brain. And I think if I'm going to get specific on an example, it would just be like, you have to not do the service delivery. Like you have to hire a creative to do that for you, and you just have to manage the business side. And then you have to manage the creatives in a sense from the higher level view. You have to basically say like, this video sucks because of this video rocks because of that, but you can't film them yourself. Yeah. And that's something that creatives might not necessarily think. They're like, if I'm going to do this business, I'm going to do the creatives. But guys, I'm telling you, like when that 6.7K came in my account, like that week, I didn't even do those services. And that would have only been like 10 hours a week of work for me. I immediately went and I hired someone else that could do that immediately. And that did allow for a quicker scale.
Yeah. So it's really building a business. Like, I think the struggle for a lot of beginners is building a business that not all roads lead back to you, especially the creative types.
Totally.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to do the work.
Yeah. You do not want all the creative ties coming back to you. You want to hold someone like accountable and manageable for that aspect of it. Yeah. I just feel like that's the smarter play, the better way to go, for sure. Yeah.
No, for sure, man. So you jumped from about 6 figures a year to, just about $600,000-$700,000 a year with your business. You've done it by focusing on a core product and a core offer, getting better at sales, and kind of building a business where not all roads lead back to you as the creative. So does that kind of summarize the jump? Because if so, I have a next topic and question for you.
That summarizes the jump. And you were the jump. You were the jump. You were the one that like literally shifted everything. Everything changed after we had that call. And by the way, guys, I went into debt getting into Trey's program. I had like no money, but I knew he had the answer, and it literally within a week it paid for itself. So yeah, my whole world flipped on its ass when I talked to you. And so, I credit you and I thank you for that, man. Like, I really appreciate you and everything that you've done for me. It's literally been life changing.
I'm glad to hear that, brother. No, it is. I love helping people, man. So I'm glad to hear that you've gotten to where you've gotten. I'm inspired by it too, as a creative type. Like I have a creative archetype. My therapist had me take like a personality test, and like I am far more right brain. Is the right brain the creative one, or is it the left brain? I can't remember. Whichever one it is.
Yeah.
But I'm very esoteric, ethereal kind of a thinker, and so I'm it's cool to see you growing. I think that's why I've been able to help you so much, but I digress. Totally. So my next question is, where do you want to get? So you've gotten to 50 a month. Before this call, you were talking about some pretty incredible goals, and I'm curious about where you want to get and how you plan to get there. And so where do you want to get is the first part of the question. How do you plan to get there is the second part. And how do you plan to use what you've already gained going from 5 to 50 or 6.7 to 50 to get there? Like, what are you going to take with you to get there?
That's such a crazy question, because it's like, you have to abandon like the tools that you got from going from 0K to 5K a month. You have to abandon those tools, then going to 50K a month, or some tools, and some things you keep. And it's the same thing. Like where I'm at right now, we might have to abandon 50% of our habits to get to that point where we want to get to, which is 250K a month. We want to get to a $250,000 a month by having 15 to 20 clients on that 10K a month offer. And then we have a program that we're giving to those 10K people, basically saying, if you follow this program, just like with your program, Trey, if you follow this program as we're working together, you should level up your camera presence. You should, know how to run the ads yourself or post it, whatever. Make the most of the content we're making. And so we're giving that to the 10K offers, but then we're getting an extra 100K a month in revenue just by selling that as a one-time 5K offer to anyone who comes through our ads. And they don't have to do the 10K a month thing. It's just a one-time 5K thing. And if, our goal is to sell 20 of those on that 100K a month revenue. Of course, you and me, we still have to kind of flesh that out and talk about it. You just kind of gave me you gave me the vision for that, really. Like, there's been so many times when I've been on a crossroads for what should I do and how to approach it. And that end vision for me was always maxed out around 80K a month, 100K a month. Like I would never have imagined making more than 100K a month, like the beginning of this year. And now you've painted this picture that makes it so like achievable and easy to get to the 250K a month. Well, not easy and achieve, like, I see how we can get there. Right.
Right.
So then what the question?
Clarity.
Yeah. Clarity. Yeah. You've given me a lot of clarity for how to work towards every day, get towards that $250,000 a month. Like, I feel like I'm working towards something way bigger than myself. And that's a super fulfilling thing to wake up to. Super fulfilling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool to hear. Yeah. Outside of just the revenue jumps, it's like a totally different business.
Yeah.
I went through like a very similar jump like a year and a half ago, maybe, when I like went from like 30,000 to like aiming at 100, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's like your whole perspective on everything. I can, man, it's just a wild concept. And it's, again, working towards that goal and that vision. It's like you're working towards this future that is so, idealistic, that you can literally do and achieve anything you want to in the world. Like, yeah. And it makes me excited to wake up each day. And I also know that working towards that is going to take a while. So I have so much like motivation every day to work towards that thing. Keep going, keep hustling. keep getting there. So yeah, it's a journey. It's like another journey that I'm going on to. It's as if, like when I met you the first time a year ago, and it's like I got to do everything again, or, work on it. And it's a lot of work, but it'll happen. It'll happen.
You'll get there, man. You'll get there. Yeah. I mean, this month we've done like 75,000. I told you this off the call. I'm just repeating it for the interview's sake. Like we've done 75,000 this month with 2 high ticket, like multiple 5-figure offers that are verbal agreed to. So, if you consider those sold, it's like 130,000 and we're like 11 days into the month. And I can honestly say, dude, like that the biggest difference between like that 20 to 50 range and the range that we've gotten to now is exactly what you're focusing on. Like doing it for a bigger reason. It's just raising your bottom line standard of behavior inside of your company. And then it's also just simply turning up the things that work. And like right now, like the jump made from 5 to 50 was like not being the bottleneck, but no longer being the service provider. The next is like looking at your service and asking, how can we optimize it entirely and create a better client experience with less hands-on, which is why I'm pushing you towards a program archetype, because you can literally have more impact with a $5,000 program right now than your service. Plus your retainer, 10,000 retainers. So 10,000 a month is what it would take minimum for me to take my time and work on your business on a done for you level. And once you just raise your standard, you're going to find the clients. And I think talking to my audience here, that's what Ethan has been doing, is realizing the real value that he's bringing to the market. And it's not that you're not special, Ethan, but I love this quote: people who know they're not special succeed. It's not that you're special that you're succeeding, it's that you're not. And you understand that the value you're bringing is simply just math and data for a prospect. Like, why wouldn't they pay $5,000 for a program? Add, even just 2 more home closes a year to their business. It's just very rudimentary reason why people should work.
It's the outcome, right? It's
the
outcome, and always selling on the outcome. So if you're a creative watching this, it's like, what's the outcome of selling someone 15 photos a month? It's like, okay, cool. I get some photos on my Instagram and I'll get a couple likes and maybe I'll pick up a client or 2, right? And in our case, it's like, well, what's the outcome of being the number 1 known agent in your small area? Well, the outcome is like, you're going to be making like, you'll have hundreds of millions of dollars in commission. Like, it's worth a ton. And so for us, getting to that 250K a month mark, like how we're going to get there, again, outcome. It's how can we visually represent that outcome that we're going to get you there and put that into an ad or into a sales presentation. And so after talking to our top 5 clients, there was a general consensus that if you could interview 100 people in a neighborhood and have the general consensus of that neighborhood be like, oh yeah, the number 1 realtor I know is Bob, right? They were saying like, if you could do that, you've got a $10,000 a month product, no problem. So now, again, the process to get there, $250,000 a month, is like we have to film an ad now where we go into a community, interview 100 people, and ask them, who's a realtor in the area that you know. And if they say Bob, we know it's working. And if they don't, we just have to adjust, our ad campaign or something like that.
Yep.
Right? But the clients just spelled it out for us. They told us this is what you would have to do to make it worth it. So now it's just, okay, like how do we reverse those deliverables? How do we get there?
It's awesome, dude. No, and even outcome-based marketing too. And if people are smart, they'll read between the lines of what we're doing right now. Like, this is an interview with a successful client talking about where they've been able to get. It's outcome marketing. And so I agree that the difference between where you are now and where you want to get is very clearly painting the picture to cold traffic of the capabilities of your highest tier offer. And if you can do that, you'll find that you won't have much more resistance selling 1,000 a month than you will 10,000 a month. It's the same level of resistance. It's going to be a 30% close rate, just like everything else in your company. It's like 30 to 35%, right? It's just, what's the size of the problem you're solving? So, yeah, man, you're thinking the right way. It's really cool to see you grow. And I have no doubt you'll be doing a $250,000 a month. I'd say give it a year at max, a year and 6 months, honestly. Like it really the main steps between now and then are, fleshing out your $5,000 product and really making it scale well, building out a good back-end structure for that, which I've just made a great hire actually to my company for the back end, and maybe off the interview, I'll show you what we've done. And then your 10,000 offer, I agree with the ad idea completely, or at least not even just that specific ad, but the angle of, hey, look at all these people in this area where when we ask them, what realtor do they know? It's our client. So, do you want this for your business? Here's the application form, right? It's like that simple.
Totally.
So, yeah.
That's simple, right?
Yeah.
That's simple. So, I mean, if people who are making $2,000, $3,000 a month and they want to go to $10,000 a month or whatever higher, I think you got to hop on a bunch of calls with people that you're selling, right? So if you're not doing sales already, you should probably do them right away. But hop on those calls and like find out what are the biggest problems in your market and how can you position your offer as an outcome that solves that problem, right? And then right away you go from a $300 a month thing to $3,000 a month, just because now you're selling on the outcome. Because I have a feeling that a lot of people might be like, well, what the hell is the outcome that I'm trying to sell in my industry? It's like, well, you don't know that until you've talked with like 50 to 100 people and you've tried to sell all of them. Like I didn't know the local celebrity thing was going to be our thing when we were creating our company. It just happened because I talked with like 100 realtors and tried to sell 100 of them. And the same thing just kept coming up over and over and over and over again. So, just like start talking to your clients and write down what are the most common problems people have, most common things that they want, the outcomes. And I know that would have a big impact on a lot of people watching.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And especially when people are just getting started as a consultant, as a coach, as an agency owner, they start with their expertise first. It's like they take their expertise and then they say, how do I market this? Versus going to the market and then asking, what do you guys want? And then kind of going back into the workshop and drawing up a blueprint, which is what you've done.
Yeah.
And arguably that's going to take you guys to $250 a month. It's just simple systems between here and there. So,
Absolutely. It takes time. It does take time, guys. Like if you're on this slow burn of not making a lot of money, it's like you gotta be willing to shift and flow, with the river and allow yourself to adapt, change, grow, and find out what the hell the market needs. You gotta find out what the hell the market needs, right? I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really as simple as that.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, interesting interview.
I still haven't bought a Rolex or anything, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I haven't bought a Rolex or anything like that. Nothing like that yet. So, I'm living very just like
eventually.
below means.
Okay, eventually, I'll help you out with that, or whenever you want to do it. I mean, it really is just make sure that you don't buy it off the internet. Make sure you actually buy through an approved dealer and then establish the relationship. And then it's actually a pretty good decision generally.
Yeah, sure. I'll hit you up when I'm thinking of doing that. I'm thinking August right now if you want to chat then.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I've got a lot of our clients that ask either they ask me or my team or whoever, like, how do I go about that? And it's like, I need to start putting a price tag on my consulting services for watches. I only have like 4. I don't have that many, but then like, because I have one nice one, this is like the Daytona. People are like, oh, how do you get a Daytona? I'm just like, honestly, dude, I struck out and got super lucky and they had one because their client called it in and then COVID happened. So they couldn't sell it. So
wow. Nice. Yeah. Client relationship. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, cool, dude. Fun interview, man. Thanks for coming on. I think the core lessons that I've seen from you is really for the creative types, especially. Maybe this is good for you, where just because you're creative doesn't give you permission to be a bad entrepreneur. Like that's something that I needed to hear when I was a photographer. Like be a marketer. Think about what the market needs. And then don't build a business just because you want to do fun work. Because if Ethan wanted to, he could very easily go out there and film some of his clients' work for fun. You very well could do that and you would have a great time doing it. But you don't have to. And that's the beautiful thing of building a real business. Next is, start with the end in mind. Like your clients, they want to be local celebrities. So your $5,000 offer is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's called like the local celebrity accelerator or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. So it's like, the literal outcome is in the name of the offer. They're not selling how to run ads and how to sell and how to get leads. They're selling become a local celebrity. They're selling the outcome that those things will allow them. Anything else to add? Any other core ideas?
No, you're nailing it on the head.
Yeah.
You're nailing it on the head.
Cool, man. And sales. Get good at sales.
Get good at sales. Yeah.
Which really just means reps, and don't think that sales is just free coaching into making them an offer at the end of the call, which is, I think, where a lot of people start.
Totally. I mean, like, if you can, I think you told me it's like making one offer a day. If you can just make one offer a day, it's like, again, you can't lose. Like, you seriously, guys, like, you cannot lose. If you're making one offer a day, you need to, I don't know, like, you need to set, three appointments, and all that crap, and like every day. And, there's just, it's just math behind it. But if you make one offer a day, like, your sales will definitely boost up and increase. So.
Yep. Keep making offers. And I think the resistance of getting the no's, and if your offer is, hey, come work with us, here's our price, or your offer is come book a call, whichever the offer is, you're going to get better and better at that offer. And over time, you're just going to adjust very naturally to being at a point where the sale comes naturally for you and the call comes naturally for you. So like, if I don't have any sales calls that day, I will literally go on Instagram or I'll go somewhere and I'll just be like, hey, run a promo, come on. And then I'd have to, like, every single day. It's one of my like rules as an entrepreneur that I have to make an offer every single day. So it's cool to see that's something that stuck around for you. But I'll end it here, man. Thanks for being on the channel, bro.
Thank you for having me, dude. It's been awesome. And thank you for just like coaching me along this process and changing my life. And I look forward to continuing the relationship and growing to 250K and then having another follow-up interview in like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, dude.
We're at.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
All right.